Hi, I'm Ray Arcade. Welcome to my channel. Last time we were at the Jersey Shore, Ronnie seemed to be regretting committing to Sammy. Vinny had stolen the boss's girl, and Jenny was brawling at the club. What'll happen next? Let's find out. Take my hand as we go on this Jersey Shore retrospective. The show opens on Vinny walking around the house, looking stressed and full of trepidations because the night before, his boss and the owner of the shore house had brought a date to the club that Vinny unknowingly stole. So he is very worried that he might be kicked out.
Just want to let you know it was nice knowing you because I think I'm getting evicted.
Why?
I chilled with some girl last night. I think she was like Danny's date. Like Danny, our boss, the owner of this house.
The boys, minus Vinny, all go on a GTL day, gym, tan, laundry. Vinny insults them for this, but I think a good, healthy self-care routine it's good for you. Now, I don't know about tanning, but having a routine, according to the internet, it works wonders for your mental health. So Vinny goes to work and he faces the boss. Danny's kind of ribbing him and joking, but then he makes a joke that's like kind of a joke, but it's not really a joke.
Buddy? You gonna be able to get your stuff out by tonight?
Yeah.
Rags to riches, that's how it goes.
I really, honestly,
It's like, don't cross the boss, you sleep under the boardwalk.
That's a Sicilian message. It means Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes.
Vinny also has been spitting some game to Mike's sister Melissa on the phone. He convinces her to come out for the night, but when she shows up, unfortunately, she does look like Mike in a wig. But Melissa's a really sweet girl, and I don't like the way Vinny's talking about her. At the club that night, Ron and Sam disappear. The roommates are starting to notice that they're kind of isolating themselves from the rest of the group. They get into a taxi cab home. Sammy is drunk, but they're kind of joking, making fun of you.
You stumpy bastard.
You're a stumpy bastard too.
Do you really just call me a stumpy bastard?
Listen, what's your Flintstone big toe,
All right, really?
all right?
Then no.
What's your doorstop big toe, honestly?
Thanks.
She calls Ron a stumpy bastard, so he turns around and says, "You're a stumpy bastard with your Fred Flintstone toe," or something like that. He says she has a big Fred Flintstone toe. And it's so stupid. Sammy gets really upset. She does that thing where I'm sure some of you ladies out there have done this, so have I. You're just giving your dude shit all day. You're making fun of him, you're teasing him, and then he meets your energy slightly back, and then it's not fun anymore. And then your feelings are hurt. Ron also tells Sammy she's acting like a typical Jersey girl. What does that mean, Ron? What does that mean, Ron? So Snooki runs into her friend Mike at the club. Not the situation. This is her old friend Mike. And she invites him back to the shore house. So they're all in the taxi home. And she decides she's going to test Mike. Because Mike, the situation, wants to keep partying. So he hops out of the van to go to Karma. Snooki says, if you want to go, you can go as a test. And he shoots out of the van like a bullet. Here's the thing, girls. Don't give men tests, okay? I love men. I really appreciate them. I think they can be very wonderful. But a lot of them are kind of dumb when it comes to deciphering the psychological games we like to play with them. So if you tell a man to do something, he'll probably do it. You're setting yourself up for failure, and you're setting him up for failure. So just a little PSA. Don't try to give men a test. They will fail. So back at the house, Sam and Ron are still kind of fighting with each other. Snooki goes up to talk to Sam, and Sam says that him calling her Fred Flintstone toe is the worst thing he could have possibly done. Ron then says there's things that she said tonight that can't be taken back, and that she should cover her face. Where's my red flag?
Ron?
They're acting like something gigantic happened. This is a conversation about a Fred Flintstone toe. But anyway, Ron, she's trying to walk away from him, and he keeps, I'm red flagging a lot right now. He keeps putting his hands on her in a way that I don't like. She's trying to walk away, and he's holding her back and pestering her and getting up in her face and following her around. She very clearly is trying to separate herself from him to take a break, and he will not allow it. So then he gets mad, and he decides, you know what? Fuck her. I'm going to go creep at the club. So he's back, baby. He's back. He goes down to Polly. He's like, I'm back. Let's go creep. They leave to go to Karma to creep on chicks. I hate it.
I'm back.
You're back?
Yeah.
Yeah! Yo, I'm happy as
Come on, Paul. I left her at the house, and me and Paul left to go creep on some girls at Karma.
Ron does this frequently throughout the show where he decides he's mad at Sammy, so he's going to go creep on chicks and leave her back at home just to torment her so she can lay in bed tormented, wondering if he's out hooking up with chicks. I think that's really mentally abusive and toxic. But Ron does the right thing in this situation, and he decides he doesn't want any of these women at the club, and Sammy's the best girl in Seaside, so he goes home to her. Ron goes upstairs, he's talking to her, and Sammy says a line that lives rent-free in my head all the time. She says, her toe is no joke, and it's a personal issue. At the club, Mike runs into a girl that he had met from an episode ago who had the grenade friend. And so he's like, hey, come back. And she's like, oh, I just have to go to my girlfriend's car to grab some stuff. He goes back to the house. She shows up with 2 bodyguards. They call the bigger bodied lady a grenade launcher, and the grenade is also back. Mike doesn't want the grenade and the grenade launcher there, so Snooki volunteers to get them out of the house. She just tells them they have to leave. They do not take kindly to this, and they call her a bitch. And so Snooki follows them out to have a verbal altercation, and things start to get very physical very quickly. Snooki, for some reason, tries to step to the bigger-bodied woman and gets her shit rocked. Okay? Snooki, why would you pick a fight with her of all people? I think she gets hit in the face by all 3 of them at one point. Eventually the cops come, one of the girls gets arrested, and that's the end of that crazy night. There's a cute little side story where Vinny's family comes. They're very Italian, so there's like cousins and nieces and nephews, and the whole family's there, and his mom brings a bunch of food. She's a Sicilian. My grandfather was Sicilian, so I see a lot of that Italian cultural background in my life, which I really like, I really appreciate. The gang goes to Beachcombers that night, which is the same bar that Snooki got punched in the face at, and there's another douchebag there who is hassling the crew all night. He's giving them shit about them not being locals, which I don't really understand. I would say that I was a local to the shore scene in New Jersey, and I don't understand giving people shit from out of town. I mean, that's kind of what keeps the beach life afloat, tourism, you know. Ron and Sam leave, and the guy who's been hassling them, his name is August, and his girlfriend leave at the same time. So they're walking tandem to each other, just shit talking, and Sam's kind of making fun of the girl, and Ron doesn't like this. So he pushes Sam. Unnecessary, like totally unnecessary. But things escalate, and they're like, come at me, bro. I'll come at you, bro. And they start fighting. The thing is that Ronnie's avoiding the girlfriend, but she has put herself in between Ron and August. And she's like trying to gouge his eyes out or something. And he's trying to swing around her, and he's swinging over her. Honestly, they're both assholes for trying to double team Ronnie. And I will say he is trying his best not to hit that dude's girlfriend, but oh my God. So him and August are on the boardwalk and Ron's punching him on the head and it's looking pretty brutal. So the girlfriends are trying to break it apart. Eventually they get up and Ron kind of storms off and he leaves Sam in the sleaze. And that's kind of where the episode ends. I do think everybody in this situation was in the wrong, but I think Ron was in the most wrong. And that's where it ends. We're left with so many questions. Will Sam and Ronnie continue fighting? Will Mike meet any more zoo creatures? Will Snooki get punched in the face again? Find out next time on a Jersey Shore Retrospective. Until then, stay crazy, stay wild. Bye.